Hello and welcome YouTube, I'm Remix, and we are here playing the new, well, relatively new, Reclamation mod. Wait, what is Reclamation Reclaim the World, that's it. I have seen a good number of videos posted about this, and I was looking at it, I'm like, this could be a really fun playthrough. And we're just gonna name it Reclaim the World, because that is what we're gonna be doing. Now, I have watched a small amount on this, and we're going to be playing with some mods that I actually haven't played with since maybe their earliest creations, and even then I wasn't very good at them. But the general rundown, and I'm going to skip through a lot of the early quests because I'm sure everyone has seen them, but we're going to be going into a desolate wasteland where there is absolutely no ore generation, and we're going to have to start from nothing. And honestly, this could not be better. A lot of water. And we're actually going to start by looking through this book, our quest book here, and just grabbing these. Now, I will mention that I won't be collecting our rewards, or at least all of them, because there is no need for us to grab these levels. And especially if we weren't playing hardcore, that would be a bigger issue there. And all of this is just saying that the way the world generates, it is definitely not like your typical Minecraft world. Rare drops. We've got to make a bed eventually. And we got some food. That's all good there. Now. Honestly, that's right. You crafted with this book, and you can store all of our little books in here. Fantastic. And those books kind of just tell us about some of the mods that we'll be using. But I want to start off by getting some basic, very, very basic tools. And we'll be playing this in hardcore, so we're going to be really striving for some things early on. Luckily, we do start with a fishing rod, so that's going to cover us for a good while. And I'm going to get over to this tree here. Now, it has been some time since I posted it to YouTube, so I want to thank everyone for any comments or ideas that they might have in regards to kind of the streaming or the format that I'm going to be posting on. We're going to be going for about 50-ish minutes, give or take, and hopefully we can squeeze out as much as possible. And with the grinding of certain things, like if we have to go mining or there's a long waited period, I might end up having to cut that out. But if that's something that you guys want to watch, just please leave a comment and we'll see from there. But do make sure that you like and follow and ring that bell so you're notified when I post another episode, because these will be posted or made in chunks, but I'll probably delay a little bit of the posting, maybe by a day, and so you can expect a small amount of progress from where we started. Man, we get so much from these flimsy. Composter, okay, so we can make a good number of things with those. Everything that seems fairly normal. It just takes a bit, so we should be able to get a crafting table with this. Bam. Okay. I want to go over to that one. Now we do need to get copper as soon as possible, and maybe we shouldn't be sprinting around either. Now the videos that I've seen, people haven't been playing in hardcore because it is already quite a substantially difficult pack, I guess. It takes a lot of investment because we're gonna have to be growing crops, and that's actually one of the mods that I'm not super familiar with, which is agricraft. But I am no stranger to hardcore or modded Minecraft in general. In fact, Skyblock was one of my favorite, I know it's not really a mod, but one of my favorite maps back in the day. And it's kind of good to come back. We should be able to get some stone very easily. Can I go straight to sticks with that? No. Does that count towards... No, it does not. Okay. And I'm pretty sure if we hit that, we can actually see what we can make here. There we go. Skip that. Now we are going to need some flints as well so we can make a knife. Some stone while we're here. I do hope everyone is having a wonderful time though. And I'm actually really excited to be back on YouTube. Why didn't you break? There we go. A little bit of latency there. 8, so actually I want more than that. But the general starts to this mod pack is relatively the same to pretty much every other mod pack. Get your tools, get a nice little base, and we're going to need that. Because all of the mobs here, they're not worse, but we don't have normal spiders anymore. We've got cave spiders. That, and I'm gonna need more of those. I want to create a... I don't think we can make a cobblestone knife, I don't think. No, but we will need a hoe pretty early on as well. And I'm super interested to see how far we can take this. Wait, vertical stone slab. I was unaware that they added vertical stone slabs to this. That might be the most revolutionary mod in this. And whether or not we have to live in a hole for the first night. Now the reason I was saying it's good that we have a lot of water around us is we could probably make a boat and then we could travel without using that much hunger. In fact, we're a little short. But it means we have readily accessible sand and clay and gravel. In fact, I might need to go down and grab some gravel. Just enough so that we can have some flint. Okay. And these structures here are going to be our primary source of metal early on. Until we can get situated. There's none here, unfortunately. I think my next tool will be an axe. Yes, I should have got enough to make all of the tools, but that's just how the cookie crumbles with that. That's perfect. Now, in terms of the generation, we still get all of the stone variants, so granite, andesite, and all of that, but we don't get ores, which means we're going to have to grow everything and find some other way to do it. And as much as I have seen a few videos on this, I've tried to keep myself relatively blind to some of the later stuff. Let's make a axiom. Okay. But I just think From what I've seen, it's an awesome pack, and it has magic, it has gardening, and a lot of it just seems pretty cool. No copper. Wow, no copper. Might actually be worth picking up the stone as well. I can see some lava on the minimap there, which could prove to be useful early on. Because I want to be able to build a house that looks decent-ish. Let's have a look here. Larger structure over here. Now, I was definitely thinking that it was the zoom mod in this, but I'm not able to zoom, which is unfortunate. And as we're getting closer to night, we might go underground and just do a bit of mining. And just kind of progress in the tool section of our world there. And have like a little bit of a plan of attack, really. Okay, down we go. I know it's very dark. I'll get a torch in just a moment. It's likely we're able to find charcoal from the trees. In fact, let's make a shovel while we're at it as well. Plenty of wood. What else could we need? We could have a shovel. A sword, actually. Because we're gonna be stuck with that for a while. What is that? Water artichokes, mandrakes, wolfsbane, wheat, and a handful of other things. Now, Westbook is going to be our most interesting one. Where are all the ores? Yep. Dead trees, we got that. We'll grab this charcoal. Oxidized copper. Oh. Bees. Despite the harsh conditions, bees still persist dotted amongst the dry hills. Cultivating them could be a great way to generate resources such as more dead logs. Okay. And what is this one? Small bits of copper completely. Grab the extra food there. I'm going to need a cutting board and some copper there. Okay. Make a little bit of room here. Because we don't want to be too hasty with setting our location. Because we're going to need to get a significant amount of copper before we settle down, I think. Now, one of the things that I do want to say is, usually I'm very... usually I don't like cutting out a lot of material, especially with the grinding, because it gives you a sense of idea on like the way the game would progress. What's that? Bridge torch? Oh, that's cool. I've been playing horror mods, so the fact that it just made that sound scared me a little bit. I thought someone was breaking down. Oh, okay, so this is a different mod maybe? Dead log. Black sleeping bag. Yeah, I can't make that. Oh, 262. I would do that, but I think it's gonna be, it would break a lot quicker. So I don't think we're gonna do that. That's right. We want some wood. That's what we want. Bam. Make a cutting board. And then we're also going to need to keep breaking these until we can get a lint. There we go. Excellent. We can make a flute. And a hammer. That might be better. Okay, flint knife. Excellent. Oh, I think we need to scrape it first. Yes. There we go. Okay. Now we have some copper. And we get the Hermetica. So, sell ammoniac tank. Ammoniac. Yeah, ammoniac tank. Solvent that can be used in liquefaction cauldrons. An accumulator. Let's do the shortest path one. So stone, sticks. Okay, that doesn't seem too difficult. Definitely wish I could tell if it was day or not. Some smooth stone, which might warrant us actually picking up a bit more stone. And until I actually started doing like a redstone and that, I totally overlooked the silk touch enchantment, and I feel so bad for that because it is now one of my best friends. At least 6. And actually, I think it's a really good point. Like, the fact that we don't have to worry about going looking for ores now kind of mitigates the need to go any deeper than, you know, what is that, like 10 blocks below the surface? Unless we're actually looking for granite and whatnot. But even then, we could find it in, like, the side of mountains. There's an enderman above me. If he comes down here, I'm gonna whomp him. Okay. Let's have a look at this guy. What do you do? Okay. The art of alchemy. Future item, transportation. That's a whole lot of stuff that I have no idea what you're talking about, buddy. Glass divination rod. Ore refining. Tripling ore yield of spagarics. Thus, we will be efficient refining of raw metals into multiple ingots. In the following pages, entries will allow attempts to create 3 iron ingots out of just one raw iron. First, you need to liquefy it. Add mineral salt, mercury, or shards. Okay. About apparatuses. Now, this is another mod that I am not highly familiar with, so we're actually going to leave that book separate as well. What is that? We can make toast. You know what? Might as well. We might as well. It's coming to daytime. Make iron nuggets. That's fine. Shouldn't there be... Oh, okay, I'm missing the sticks. We also need this as well. That's another thing. And out of everything here, I think the thing that I'm least interested in keeping is definitely not the gravel. I want the gravel. It's the vertical slab, right? Looking at the map, just going over to the structure. I like the fact that there's so many Endermen. Let's just grab some of this. Don't worry about the slabs. Stairs and full blocks, please. Now we're not going to be building any kind of castle, but copper there. There. I think that's where we're gonna head off to. Because the last thing we want to do is set up a base and then not have any resources nearby. Oh, yes, okay, there's another one. What am I not feeling in here? At that point, it becomes a gravel issue. Okay, this actually looks to be a good island here with a bunch of stuff on it. And I actually wouldn't mind having a single island to myself, because then we'll be able to light it up, and we won't have to worry about any kind of nuisances popping up. Maybe one not nearly as small or as large as this one here. Maybe there's a smaller one. But being nearby would be fantastic. Doesn't look like that's got anything on it. It's got something. There's also a great abundance of wood around here as well for such a small island. I think once we check this island here, we'll clear this out. And we might situate here, could be cool. But we also don't want something too small. Nothing on that one either. Would have just completely rusted away. And what is that? I have no idea. Okay. Some copper over there. There would be really good. I think making a boat might be useful in this scenario. Go claim this or maybe one of those 3 islands. Then we can connect them all. Or even this island in the middle there. That might be it. But regardless, we're going to be making a boat. Can we make a shoddy boat? No boat? Okay, so we can get boats, just not ones from that. And that is unfortunate. Let's not waste any time. Let's head north. It's going to be a bit of a long walk, so I think we should worry about getting our seed collection up. And it also means that once we get there, we should have all of the seeds necessary. Because there are limited seeds currently. I believe there's 8 varieties, and then we'll be able to cross-pollinate them with each other to create better crops through agricraft. Or a more diverse selection of crops and better crops. That one looks relatively important. What was it? Belladonna? Ah, good old poisonous stuff. Not too far now. And we can also use the grass in the area with the knife that we have to actually get thatch. Or, no, fiber. Excuse me. One of the things I do intend to do is actually a mob trap early on, because I want to have an area where we can kind of cordon off skeletons or anything smart enough to kind of run underneath a platform and safely dispose of them. Because the last thing we need is to have like a stray arrow come out of nowhere and hit us while we're on low health. And that's one of the things about playing hardcore. You've got to think about things so far in advance, from where you're deciding to build your base, whether or not you'll move, how you're going to move, because one creeper on this difficulty is not a joke. I think we're at a good spot now. There's going to be some iron or copper around. They'll be able to get us well. And I'm hoping to get to a point where we'll be able to actually get copper in production. Copper and wood. That's what we need to get into production right now. I wish I could see. Let's try to limit the amount of spawns that are happening around here. The other thing is we also have to deal with husks, which means our hunger is going to be under attack constantly from us just doing things and also from enemies, not just the usual things. Love the fact that we can get black dye from coal, or charcoal at least. Not unhappy about that. That should cover us for a little bit. And we'll deal with all that later. Okay. Don't smelt that. Okay, so from here, we're still going to be working on this. And I'm sure we can grab that recipe there. That recipe as well. That one. So I made one of those. And I'm going to need one of these. Okay. So these are our goals right now. And I also want to build a chest while we're here. Got that. Can we build a chest out of that? Fantastic. At least as a somewhere to put our seeds for now. We might end up having to work on that straight away. Some of this going because we're going to need that for everything else. So we need accumulator and tank. Okay. I'll go with this one first. Accumulator. Tank. Oh, I missed that stone. Okay. Crucial ingredient practice in theology. By setting up a simple accumulator and tank, you'll think you'll be able to distill it. Place the accumulator on top of the tank, fill it with water, and it will slowly produce cell ammoniac for you. Okay, so we have a little passive generation there. Residual ammoniac in water by evaporation. Tank. Boom. Now we do need a bucket, which I do believe we can actually create with clay and copper. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to have an area with a substantial amount of water, because then we know we're definitely not going to be in short supply of... Nope, that's not how we do it. Okay. How do we make this bad boy? Iron? Sure. Some clay and some sand. Okay, okay, okay. There's that coming through. And we get the shapeless crafting. Boom. We'll get that passively generating that while we get everything else going. In fact, it might be worth putting a bucket of water on us. Okay. Additional stone. So we got those. Extract alchemical salt. We got the brazier. And those require full copper blocks. Okay. Calculator oven. And metallurgy distillery. Excuse me. Okay. From the strata, this is sedimentary rock, soil, clay, and so on. Okay, so we can get salt from that. Every time I look around, I'm like, I see dark spots and I'm just like, oh no. Okay. Calcinator oven. Heat up alchemical apparatus. Okay. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. So it looks like one of those makes a single salt. So then we only need to put one in. Just don't want to put too much in there. Boom. We have strata. I'm actually like really hyped for this. I love complicated mod packs. Got that. Don't need to worry about the experience points. I'll grab the extra salt there because that's going to be useful. And we got to get mercury shards. Okay. Now I'm going to need another one of those. Paramedic Garcia. So more copper and more stone. Okay, so we can deal with one of those right now. There we go. Let's get another furnace going. It's been such a long time since I messed with thaumaturgy or thurgy. Third there. I don't think we'll even need a house if we're living on a safe island for a little bit. Oh my. Wonder what the rate is. Not sure what the conversion rate for this is. Okay, so it's 10 to 1. 10 to 1. Not terrible. Let's throw like 10 earth in there. And let's see how many 10 sticks gets us. So it might be a 1 to 1 there. So now we're just missing. Oh, now that you have all three alchemical components on the line, mercury, salt, sulfur, you can now make an incubator to combine them all back into an item, in this case, back into dirt. Place the incubator above a brazier and attach all three vessels to the sides of it. Fill each vessel with the appropriate item. Give the brazier some fuel, and in a bit, you'll have fresh dirt. Okay, so that works really well. Can I just get away with one brazier for a little bit? Put things in there to get cooked. One cooked fish gives us 2. Sandstone. 25 dirt. 10 cobblestone. Cobblestone might be the go-to. Let's build a mine over here. Sweet, let's... That's 2 mercury right there. Oh my gosh, okay, so... Okay. Some extra mercury on that. Chemical sulfur. Oh, okay, here we go. More copper in a bucket. There's also something else there. Oh, chemical sulfur. Well, we're in the middle of the day, so we're gonna do our traveling while we can and get more copper. And it might even warrant us being able to build some bridges out over here. I think that's inferium on the ground there. Inferium indeed. In fact, I don't think we need to not run right now. We've got a bit of food. We've got a fishing rod still. We have the ability to sprint. I'd definitely love if there was a structure that was a little bit more copper heavy. Even if it was just like a block of copper, that would be pretty cool. Maybe there is. Maybe I just haven't found it. Who knows? And I grab some additional logs while we're out here. Oh yeah. Up galore. Now I'm aware there's going to be a few quiet bits here and there. It's just, there isn't a ton of commentary I'm able to do, really. It's just a matter of getting to certain resources and then collecting them. And this is one of the things that I was thinking, like, would it be that bad to leave it in, or would it be bad to take it out? Especially in terms of, like, content. Let's have a piece of toast. And then, like, later on you guys will be able to comment on it in any kind of fashion that you wish. So I don't think it's really that bad. It's just early on, there isn't a lot to do. It's very direct in the way that you're kind of meant to progress. Especially when you forget to make a secondary pickaxe. And the fact that this also has, I can't remember the mod, but it's got like Mugen's bridges. That is something that I really like. It's a mod that I've been adding to a lot of my mod packs because there's not a lot of great bridge kind of construction that you can get. I'm back to you. Oh, it's actually really close by too. That's full. Okay. Excellent. Now, because we've already got these, I think we can get rid of those. We're going to need more braziers, and we need this liquefaction cauldron as well. Missing the bucket. What do you mean? I've got the bucket right here. So that's what is that, like? It's one, 1, 2, 3 additional braziers that I think we're going to need to make. If we want one for the incubator as well. Oh, we got to... Oh, okay. So we need the vessels are what we connect to that. So it's 1 for this, and then 1 for each of those. So yeah, it's 3. We need 3 of these. Not enough cobblestone. Actually, let's not waste these. This one going, and we wanted salt from it. The idea or soul of an object. From dirt, abundant, crafted from different states of the same material, such as from ore or ingots, are interchangeable. So do something like this. Oh, okay, so we put the almanac in that. Which means we're going to need another... of these. I kind of want to get away with as little usage of my wood as possible, just so that we can keep as much. It's like a rough draft of efficiency when it comes to this kind of stuff. And we can always add stairs from wherever we get them. Just to help a little bit. Tree sticks. Is that how that works? I'll have to make a liquefaction cauldron, place it on top of brazier. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Let's see if that works. There we go. Okay. Dirt. And that gets a little more of that. And now we can move on the incubator. Mercury. Maybe by mining cell almanac or by creating a... Oh, okay, so we can get the crystals from the bucket. Okay. Well, that's definitely good to know. Oh, back in there. Just reducing the amount of times that we have to jump is actually a fantastic way of keeping the amount of food that we have or have to use to a minimum. Boom. Tornado. Excellent. And we can get through this. Probably add these to the list of things that we're going to need recipes for. Mingle salt to fill. We also still need the other brazier. I think we're gonna grab that first. We're in the top, we need more stone. We need more copper, more stone. Lovely. Those in there. I need to be carrying that stuff. Let's grab a little bit more stone. Some stairs as well, Laura. Go. And then in the meantime, while we're waiting for daytime to come around, we'll do some fishing. And I think the biggest thing about kind of doing these videos in larger chunks, probably won't get the introduction in every video because of that, as I will just kind of split it up as I upload them. But that's why you'll be able to tell when and where I do each kind of take. Let's put a torch, we don't want monster spawning. And also rotten flesh is quite important in this, as it will help us create enriched dirt. And that has got to be the worst catch that I could get at this point. A disgusting snack. I got a clam? I got a clam. Some sea lettuce? That's actually not too bad. Uh, let me actually do this here. For data. Per batch. Automated brewing. Oh, wait, that can actually be put into squid ink? Okay. Okay, so it's not as bad as I thought it would be. What about you as a clam? Do steamed clams. I don't think it has a simpler recipe though. Okay. Actually have a backup one this time. I know for a copper, I know for a fact that there's copper over here. Where are you, buddy? I think that's it. No? Where is it? Am I going crazy? I swear there was some. Maybe the loneliness is getting to me already. Going a little bonkers. Hey, is that a structure underwater there? Ooh. There was a structure underwater there. This is kind of why I wish the could zoom. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Okay, we should have been using knife earlier on because we still get seeds from it. Straight up my bad there. Now, for anyone wondering why I'm avoiding the bushes, is because they're actually useful later on for bees. Maybe I wasn't looking the correct way. Oh, I saw some. Let's just create the frame point. Absolutely no idea why I'm still looking down into the holes like I'm looking for something. Some more over there. Some up on the hill to our left. In fact, it might even actually be worth making a like a cobblestone generator, because then we don't have to go like mining per se. Oh, awesome. Okay, never mind about having specific ones with extra copper. It might be worth grabbing some lava and creating a cobblestone generator. As redundant as it seems to go like underground, or like when we can go underground, just having it readily accessible on the surface would be a time saver. And we wouldn't have to worry about lighting up the place, and that saves more charcoal. Like, it's just like little steps to ensure that we do things a bit safer. Let's grab a bucket of lava. Like, less time traveled is less time wasted. At least in my head. All that for one block. Might have been a little wiser to have an extra bucket just in case we wanted to rappel down somewhere. I think after this one, I think we should be good to go back, as we will definitely have enough to make what we need. The incubator. Oh, found a beehive. Mark that. I feel like a tree capitator would be really handy in this. I guess we could make a hammer. That would definitely be something useful. Yeah, we've definitely stayed up way past our bedtime. Yeah. Okay. I totally forgot about phantoms. That was not on my planned list of encounters. Guess they can give us some time to read through this a little bit. We ought to get dirt done. Oh, okay, so that's cool. Resource generation. I have to make a scoop which requires wool. Now this in particular, mercury represents the energy contained in all matter. The Spagyrics process from mercury extraction yields mercury shards. In this form, it is not immediately useful as an energy source, so it must be first transformed, catalyzed into mercury flux, which is mercury in its natural form. This apparatus slowly converts mercury shards into mercury flux, which can be used as a source of energy. It is the first step towards using the energy contained in matter. Place the mercury catalyst, then insert mercury shards. By right-clicking the catalyst with it, it will begin to slowly fill up with mercury flux. Its sides will turn more and more blue as it fills up. By default, the block is enabled. You can disable it with an active redstone signal. When disabled, the catalyst will still convert mercury shards into mercury flux, but it will not output to its neighboring blocks. Was not found. This may be an issue with the mod or the mod pack. Okay. Sulfuric flux emitter converts raw mercury flux into sulfuric flux, type of energy that can carry information. It can be used to transform sulfur into other types of sulfur by linking it into the reformation array. Caloric flux. Block is enabled, you can disable it. Okay, what does this do? Raw mercury flux in a caloric flux or simply transferable heat can be used to power other chemical apparatuses that would usually need a pyromatic brazier. Okay, brazier. Right-click the target block with a caloric flux emitter until it is highlighted, then place the emitter into the mercury flux source, such as mercury catalyst. There's 8 blocks. As long as mercury flux is provided to it, the emitter will send caloric flux to the target block and keep it heated. Okay, so we can replace the braziers or the braziers with this. Will not send caloric flux to the target block. Interesting. So this is like our new fuel source, I guess. Why is its wings so big? Get out of here, you freak. Enable, separate, and recombine the 3 principles of substance. Okay, so that could be useful. Does not require alchemical sulfur and can be attuned to a variety of blocks by using it on them. It has a lower durability than pre-attuned rods. Ores and wood basic divination rods will be sufficient to locate common ores such as iron, coal. The more rare, precious materials such as diamond will require a higher rod to detect. So does that mean we could find other blocks of the same type? We could use that to find more copper, and we could also probably use that to find bees' nests as well, which would be really good. Gem of the type of material you want the rod to be attuned to, then you need to obtain its sulfur by melting it down into a liquefaction cauldron. Oh, okay. That's kind of fair. Crystals are useful for tuning divination rods, and many more advanced rod designs require amethyst shards. Specifically, this rod is pre-attuned to locate budding amethyst blocks to make it easier to obtain these helpful crystals. That would be smart. Iron. Okay. Find diamond. And then netherite. Rare materials. The pre-attuned rods, it is highly durable and allows to locate precious ores such as diamond, which I don't think is going to be super useful for me. 4 of these to power other... Wait. Ore refining needs all of the Sperex apparatuses to extract the needed materials and recombine them. The following pages list all the needed machinery to the apparatuses. So for the braziers, create the salt tank. Those that need heating need to be placed on the pyramid into the braziers to heat them. Okay, so yeah, this is kind of like everything we've already done. Strata such as dirt, cobblestone, and sand, but also clay and many others contains. Oh, so it can be turned into mineral salt. After a while, some salt will have been created. Right-click, empty hand to obtain mineral salt. Recombine the 3 principles into usable iron ingots. Right-click the incubator, sulfur vessel, fuels such as coal to pyromatic brazier. Okay, so we can make iron ingots, but it takes 20 salts. On its own, not truly revolutionary. Reformation, transmutation, exaltation. Okay. We'll continue with that. I guess we'll continue that right now. Is an integral part of the transformation of matter. As seen in the Sperex chapter, it is sulfur that determines the type of matter. The key to transformation matter is then to first transform the sulfur, after which the spagyrics process can be applied as before to reassemble the principles into an object. There is one issue: sulfur is not malleable, it resists transformation. The solution is to create alchemical niter for sulfur, concept behind a type of matter such as common metal or precious gem instead of iron or diamond, and is much more malleable. Alchemical niter of common gems can be transformed into any common gem sulfur, but also into any common metal niter, and with the right process, even into rare or abundant gem niter. In short, alchemical niter is the key to true mastery over matter. Okay. Using coal as a heat is positively barbaric. I'm not using coal. Do better. To heat your apparatus more efficiently and even from a distance, you can use a caloric flux emitter to follow the following pages list all the needed machinery. Okay. Is the reformation of sulfur representing the soul of matter? Into desired form. The following entries will guide you through the conversion of alchemical sulfur lapis into alchemical sulfur quartz, assuming you already obtained at least 1 sulfur of each. Instructions apply equally to all other reformation recipes within the same type and tier, such as alchemical sulfur diamond to alchemical sulfur emerald. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Slightly browner. Now, if it wasn't for the potential risk of phantoms, I would probably book it. But that's just straight up a bad idea. So many recipes can be made with this. Oh, we even have sophisticated storage, which is going to be awesome. Wait, that only gets me one? Hmm. Okay, well, I think we might end up having to cut this part of that out, unfortunately. But that's usually something that ends up happening, even despite some people's best efforts. You get stuck in a location that's just, you can't really do anything about. Might end up. I have a look at all the mods in here. We've got Mechanism, Optopia, Applied Mechanism, Embers Rekindled. That one I haven't really messed around with. Applied Energistics. There's a lot of covers in this. So many. Okay. Complicated bees, okay. It's not going to be that complicated, but okay. Cooking for blockheads as well. More mechanism stuff. Reclamation here. Awaken Supremium Helmet. Oh, that's right. Mystical Agriculture. That would be a very easy one to get into, because once you start like with these seeds, you just keep getting more. Seed processors. All that mystical agriculture stuff still. Blood magic. And that could be fun. Just a matter of actually having the right materials to get into it. A sophisticated chest, that's always a big one. Re-chiseled is all decoration. Agricraft, yes, one that I'm not super familiar with. McCaw's bridges and stuff. That's it. Was lighting. Enchanted. Oh, that's fairly simple. What do you do with this? Create like wood ash? Foul fumes. Okay. I'll run and grab some of this stuff here. No point in wasting like bones or rotten flesh. Surprised no phantom membranes drop down. Maybe that husk over to our right there has some kind of piece of armor that we might be able to grab. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to make an area where the mobs could kind of run to. Because that way we could kind of corner them, beat them up and take their gear. And it would just give us another source of materials. Hey, why are you burning, buddy? He had some armor on somewhere. And who knows, even between takes I might end up doing just like a little bit of fishing to get food and stuff, so we don't have to worry about that all that much. Ton of copper now. There's some there as well. This might have been the one that I saw that was near my house. End of the day, we're going to need all of this. Absolutely every last bit of it. I was in mid eat too, but well. don't like the fact that it takes everything. That is not what I wanted. And I think we're going to need sticks. Need this. Need the incubator. And that's already out. Okay. Sulfur, mercury, salt. I don't like the way that I put them down. Copper. Iron. Gold. Okay. No. My brain is just like, iron is still better than gold. Okay. Now, what we have to do here, mercury, salt, sulfur, can make an incubator to combine them all into dirt. Okay. Mercury. Sulfur. Salt. Mercury, salt, sulfur. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we got our we got our dirt. So let's okay. We are done with the prologue. Well, like we got the dirt for it, but I didn't end up taking it from it, which is a little weird. Now we're at a whiff of normal. Okay, so we've got all the seeds. That's really good. Even though the lack of the nutrients in the soil, some especially tough tufts of grass have held on. Some even have seeds that you can find and try to coax to life. Some of these seem especially magical. You wonder if you could use them in any way. Probably only want to harvest mandrake at night until you get its strength up. Okay. Crop sticks. So this is the area where I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to be doing. So from here on out, we're going to be learning together. Gonna need a hoe. Go. Pretty sure I didn't make one. No. Okay. We have plenty of as well. Might create a garden of sorts over there. Is there anywhere that doesn't have a... Here doesn't have a shrub or anything. Neither does here. Let's go with this one. Okay. Ah. Oh, really? Okay. I think this is actually going to be kind of a good spot to end it. We've been streaming for, well, recording for about an hour and 40 minutes. But this is a good spot to end off, at least for the first episode or two. I'll see how much is useful and then we'll cut it all there. Thank you everyone for stopping by. I'm Just Remix, and make sure you follow me here, ring the bell, so you are notified when I post out another video, which we're going to be doing for this mod pack because it is just fantastic.